Who will win the Atlantic Division as the race heats up between the Panthers, Bolts, and the Maple Leafs? No one wants the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference, and the Blues are solidifying themselves as the last playoff team in the Western Conference. With all of the game recaps from our past couple days and how it affected the standings coming up right now. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here at the End-to-End Hockey Channel. Now before we begin this video, don't forget to like this video and subscribe below. Thanks for all your support. We'll never be able to do this without all of you guys, so if you haven't already, hit subscribe button down below, really does help with the channel. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. Don't forget to leave a comment. Would love to hear your guys' opinion on all that was discussed here today. So in today's video, we got another game recap video. Lots of intriguing games that happened over Monday and Tuesday that have affected the standings drastically, including around the two wildcard positions and in the Atlantic Division race. So we'll get to all those games here. So first, we're going to start with the 4 games that happened over on Monday, and then go over to the 10 games over on Tuesday. So first, we saw Canucks take on the Devils, and a massive game for both teams. Both teams are in desperate need of points right now, and the Vancouver Canucks got a late game-tying goal, and then take it to a shootout in which they would win, and took down the New Jersey Devils 4-3 in a shootout, as they have a point in 5 of 7 and improved to 33, 26, and 12. That's a massive win for the Canucks to keep pace toward playoff spots. Well, the Devils have lost 3 straight, 4 of 5, and they fall 37, 28, and 7 on the year. Devils shouldn't be falling out of the playoff race, but man, they are hurting right now. For the Canucks, Suter had a goal and an assist. Garland and Lekaramaki both also scored in regulation, and DeBrusk and Lekaramaki both were shootout goal scorers for the Canucks in the win, while Meyer scored twice, Hull also scored in regulation, and Brad was the lone shootout goal scorer for the Devils in the shootout loss. It was an intriguing game there, but Canucks come away with the victory. Then we saw Columbus Blue Jackets overcome a 2-goal deficit and storm back to be the New York Islanders 4-3 in a shootout, just like the Canucks. There was a late goal disallowed. It really shouldn't have been. That should have given the Islanders the win, but instead the Jackets win in a shootout. That's a costly point to give up for the Islanders, as the Jackets have ended their 6-game losing streak and improved to 32, 29, and 9, and could actually be back in the playoff race. For the Islanders now have a 6-game point streak, but do fall 32, 28, and 10. So interesting note there. For the Jackets, Monahan had 2 assists. Fantilli, Marchenko, and Jenner were 3 regulation goal scorers, and Fantilli the lone shield goal scorer for the Jackets in the win, while Boakford had 2 assists, and Lee, Palmieri, and Engvall were 3 goal scorers for the Islanders in the shootout loss. So it was an intriguing game there, but was the Jackets to pull ahead and get the 4-3 shootout victory. Then we saw the Dallas Stars open the scoring thanks to this goal here from Wyatt Johnston midway through the second period, and I'll go to Sportsnet, but Johnston was able to open the scoring. It was all they needed. Stars shut out the Minnesota Wild 3-0, as the Stars now have a 5-game point streak improved to 45, 21, and 4, get a little bit closer to Winnipeg, while the Wild have a horrible loss here that drops them to 40, 26, and 5, having their 3-game win streak end. So a bad loss there for Minnesota. For the Stars, Hintz had 2 assists, and Johnston, Duchesne, and Marchand were 3 goal scorers, with Andre stopping all 32 shots he faced in the victory for Dallas. So impressive win there from Dallas as they shut out their Central Division rivals. Then a battle between 2 teams fighting for playoff spots. We saw the Detroit Red Wings score 5 unanswered goals and obliterated the Utah Hockey Club 5-1, as they improved to 33, 31, and 6, gaining a little bit in the playoff race, while Utah falls to 32, 28, and 11, and that might be it for Utah with their playoff chances. For the Red Wings, DeBrincat had a goal and assist, Evanston had 2 assists, Casper, Mott, Watson scores versus the Red Wing, and Soderblom also scored, and Lyon stopped 17 of 18 shots he faced in the win for Detroit, while Gunther was lone goal scorer for Utah in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but it was the Red Wings to come away with the victory. Those were the 4 games we saw over on Monday. Going over to the 10 we saw over on Tuesday. First, we saw Nashville Predators jump out to a 2-goal lead and held on to beat the Carolina Hurricanes 3-1, as the Predators improved to 27, 36, and 8, while the Hurricanes fall 43, 24, and 4 on the year. So a bad loss there for Carolina, as it could have gone a little bit closer to clinching a playoff berth. For the Predators, Evangelista scored twice, Delgazio had 2 assists, Bunting also scored, and Saros stopped 34 of 35 shots he faced in the win for Nashville. So great game there from Saros, while Hull was lone goal scorer for the Canes in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but the Predators stave off elimination for 1 more day, and they get a massive victory. Then we saw Toronto Maple Leafs score 6 unanswered goals and blew the top off of the Philadelphia Flyers 7-2, as they have won 4 of 5 and improved to 43, 25, and 3, and they keep pace for top spot in the Atlantic Division. Well, the Flyers have lost 6 straight, 11 of 12, fall 28, 36, and 9, and I think are turning towards a top 5 pick in this year's draft. Really good stuff there for Philadelphia, finally embracing the tanking mentality. For the Leafs, Nylander, who had 2 goals and 2 assists, and Tavares, who had 2 goals and 2 assists, both at 4-point nights. McMahon had a goal and an assist. assists. Nice had 2 assists, and Kampf and Domi both also scored for Leafs in the win, while Paling and Couturier were 2 goal scorers for the Flyers in the loss. So it was an impressive game there from the Leafs as they absolutely destroyed the Philadelphia Flyers. Then we saw a really close game, but we saw Buffalo Sabres overcome multiple deficits, scored an early third period goal. This goal here from Tage Thompson on Chris Sportsnet, but Thompson was able to get the go-ahead goal for Buffalo, and the Sabres will hold on to, for the 3rd straight time this year, beat the Ottawa Senators as they took them down 3-2, as they've won 4 of 6 and improved to 29, 35, and 6, and they're looking a lot better as of late, even though they're basically meaningless games. While Senators have lost 3 of 4 and fall 37, 28, and 5 on the year, so that's a bad loss there from Ottawa. For the Sabres, Quinn Thompson and Jacob Bernard-Docker, who scores first as a member of the Sabres against his old team, were 3 goal scorers for Sabres in the win, while Kachuk and Perron were 2 goal scorers for Senators in the loss. It was a really intriguing game, but those are some valuable points lost there from Ottawa. Then we saw Tampa Bay Lightning have a 4-goal first period and obliterated the Pittsburgh Penguins 6-1, as the Bolts have won 4 of 6, improved to 41, 25, 5, and keep pace for top spot in the Atlantic Division, while the Penguins have lost 3 of 4 and fall 29, 33, and 11, and it looks like they're going to have a top 10 pick in this year's draft too. For the Bolts, Kucherov had 3-point night, goal 2 assists, Surly scored twice, Hagel and McDonough both had goal and assists, Point also scored, and Vasilevsky stopped 14 of 15 shots he faced in the win for Tampa, who are looking scary right now, while Russ was 1 goal scorer for the Penguins in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but complete and utter domination from Tampa. Then we saw Vegas jump up to a 2-goal lead, pulled away, and destroyed the Minnesota Wild 5-1, as the Knights have won 4 straight, have a point in 7 of 8, and improved to 43, 20, and 8, and are pulling away for top spot in the Pacific, while the Wild fall to 40, 27, and 5. They're at risk of falling behind the St. Louis Blues right now. The Wild are hurting. For the Knights, Eichel had a hat-trick, scoring 3 goals. It's like the 3rd hat-trick in 4 games for Vegas. Hanifin and Stone both had 2 assists, and Howden and Pearson both also scored for the Knights, with Hill stopping 23, 24 shots in the win, while for the Wild, Johansson was 1 goal scorer in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but that was an awful game there for Minnesota. Then we saw Winnipeg Jets overcome a deficit and took down the Washington Capitals in the battle of the conference leaders 3-2 in overtime, thanks to this goal here from Nikolai Ehlers on Sportsnet, but Ehlers was able to get the overtime winner. With the win, the Jets are officially the first Western Conference team in the postseason. So really good stuff there from the Jets as they were able to get into the postseason again. Same thing as they did the last couple of seasons, so really good stuff there for Winnipeg as they have won 5 of 7 and improved to 49, 19, and 4, and might be the first team to 50 wins this year. Well, the Washington Capitals now have a 5-game point streak, but do fall to 47, 15, and 9 on the year after their 4-game win streak ends. So interesting note there. For the Jets, Appleton, Ehlers for the O2 winner, and Morrissey were 3 goal scorers for the Jets in the win, while Mangiapane and Ovechkin, who's now only 6 goals away from catching Gretzky's record, were the 2 goal scorers for the Capitals in the OT loss. So Ovechkin gets closer to Gretzky, but it was the Jets who come away with the overtime victory. Then we saw the St. Louis Blues score 5 unanswered goals. They just looks like there's no stopping them right now. And they destroyed the second wildcard team in the Eastern Conference, and that's the Montreal Canadiens. 6-1, as the Blues have won 7 straight, 9 of 11, and improved to 38, 28, and 7. If I was one of those Western Division winners right now, I would not want to face St. Louis if they do make the playoffs. Well, the Habs have their 6-game point streak end, now have a 3-game losing streak, and fall 33, 28, and 9. This is not the time to be hitting a losing skid if you're the Montreal Canadiens. For the Blues, Broberg had a goal and 3 assists, and Thomas had a goal and 3 assists. Both had 4-point nights. Holloway had a goal and an assist. Fowler had 2 assists. Texier, Kyron and Bolduc also scored, and Bennington stopped 24, 25 shots he faced in the win for the Blues. That's the 3rd consecutive game the Blues have only given up 1 goal. Well, for the Habs, Suzuki was the 1 goal scorer for the Habs in the loss. So an intriguing game there between the 2 second wildcard teams in the conferences, but the Blues absolutely obliterate the Canadiens. Then we saw Colorado Avalanche score 4 unanswered goals and took down the Detroit Red Wings 5-2, as the Avalanche have won 3 straight, 5 of 6, and improved to 44, 25, and 3, while the Red Wings now lose ground in the wildcard race and have lost 4 of 6, falling to 33, 32, and 6. So a bad loss there for Detroit. For the Avalanche, Taves had 3-point night with a goal and 2 assists. McKinnon had goal and 8 assists. Jordan and Natchez both had 2 assists, and McCarr and Chushkin both also scored for the Avalanche in the win, while Comfort had goal and 8 assists, and Watson scored for the 2nd straight game, was the other goal scorer for the Red Wings in the loss. So it was an intriguing game there, but the Avalanche to come away with the victory. Then we saw the Calgary Flames blow a 3rd period lead, but they did recover and took down the Seattle Kraken in overtime overtime 4-3 thanks to this goal here from Nazem Kadri. Remember all Kashira Sportsnet. But the other Alberta team keeps their playoff hopes alive with a massive win as they have won 4 straight and improved to 34-25-11, while the Kraken have lost 3 straight and fall 33-6-6. So a bad loss there for Seattle. For the Flames, Kadri scored twice, including the OT winner. Coronado and Huberdeau both had 2 assists, and Anderson and Klapka both also scored for the Flames in the win, while Schwartz had goal and 8 assists, and Karche and Eberle both also scored for the Kraken in the OT loss. It was an intriguing game there, but the Flames come away with the victory. And then the final game on Tuesday, we saw the LA Kings score 3 unanswered goals and beat the New York Rangers 3-1, as the Kings have won 4 straight, 9 of 10, and improved to 40-21-9. They've hit the 40 win mark and are looking scary, while the New York Rangers have lost 4 of 5 and fall to 34-32-6. It seems like no one wants the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. For the Kings, Fiala scored twice. Dino also scored, and Kemper stopped 22-23 shots he faced to win for the Kings. Kemper's made such a difference to that Kings team this year, while JT Miller was the lone goal scorer for the Rangers in the loss. It was an intriguing game there. Miller gets another goal with the Rangers, but it was the Kings who come away with a massive victory. So definitely, those are all the games we saw from our past couple of days. Lots of intriguing ones. Now going over to see how it affected the standings as it sits right now. So at this point in time, 6 teams still have hit the 80-point plateau in the East, with 2 teams having hit the 90-point plateau and 1 team, the Capitals, having hit triple digits. They're 103 points. They have clinched a playoff spot, and they are still the only team to triple digits in the East. We have the Carolina Hurricanes, the only other team to have hit the 90-point plateau with 90 points. Then you have 89-point Toronto, 89-point Florida, 87-point Tampa, and 81-point New Jersey, who have all also hit the 80-point plateau. Then you have the Ottawa Senators, who are still in the first wildcard position after their loss to Buffalo, with 79 points. They are followed by the 75-point Montreal Canadiens, who are in the second wildcard position even after the loss to the St. Louis Blues. Following them, we have the 74-point Islanders, who play the same amount of games as the Habs but are 1 point back. The 74-point New York Rangers, who are still 1 point back of the Habs with 2 games more played. Then you have the Blue Jackets, who are 2 points back, same amount of games played. You have the Detroit Red Wings, who are 3 points back. They played 1 more game than the Habs. And then you have the Boston Bruins, who are currently 6 points out, and the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are currently 6 points out, both with multiple games more played than the Montreal Canadiens. So interesting note there, the Habs do have games in hand on basically everyone, but still, there's only 3 points separating the Wings, Jackets, Islanders, Rangers, and Habs. So all these teams don't seem to want to get that second wildcard position, while in the Western Conference, 8 teams have hit the 80-point plateau, including 4 teams have hit the 90-point plateau, and 1 team, the Jets, who have hit the triple-digit mark, having 102 points and being the first Western Conference team officially in the playoffs. After them, you have the 94-point Stars, 94-point Knights, and 91-point Avalanche, who hit the 90-point plateau. And then you have the 89-point Kings, the 87-point Oilers, the 85-point Wild in first wildcard position, and 83-point Blues in the second wildcard position, all still have hit the 80-point plateau. After them, you have the 79-point Calgary Flames, who are currently 4 back of a playoff spot with 3 games in hand on the Blues. So if the Flames win all those games in hand, they're in the second wildcard position. So don't count out Calgary yet. The Vancouver Canucks currently have 2 games in hand and are 5 points out. So they win both those games in hand, they're still in it. Utah's now 8 points out of a playoff spot. They do have 2 games in hand, but it's starting to look more bleak and more bleak for the Utah Hockey Club. And everyone else is 10 plus out in the Western Conference. So definitely interesting out there. Lots of intriguing races. Blues seem to be pulling ahead and closing in on Minnesota, but still lots of intriguing races in both the West and the Eastern Conference to see who will wind up taking those last few playoff spots. Definitely. That's all I want to talk about for today. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Did any of the games surprise you from our past couple days? And are you surprised by any team's placements in the standings as it sits right now? Definitely. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all that. Down in the comment section below. That's all I'm going to talk about for today. Remember to like this video. And if you really liked it, remember to subscribe down below. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, and it really does help with the channel. I also have blog talk, news, rumors, analysis, stuff like that, so check that out. I'll link that down in the description below. And I can't wait to see you guys all for next video. See you guys soon.